Hello and welcome to Random Roleplay. I'm Deven of TRG Network, and we're back with some more Rieba Planeswalkers. And we're back with some more downtime, albeit with a distinct lack of Snake Lady this time around. That's okay, we're still in the cinnamon shop, we're still trying to figure out what to do with the information that we've acquired in the last session and a half or so. It puts our party in a position of wondering where to go next. And that's what this session is mainly about, alright, to figure that out. But not without its own dramatics, of course. Which, in the midst of, you get this quote. He told me he was going to go out and change the world. Well, you see, that quote matters at the end. Hold on to that. And I hope you've been holding on to some of the other hints that I've been dropping throughout the entirety of the series. I am not kidding when I say you should go back to episode 3 and double check every single hint at the start of the episode and see if you've caught up with it. Because every single hint has mattered in some way, shape, or form for this campaign or for what comes after. Trust me when I say it can enhance your experience with this campaign that much more, even if you were one of the people who played through it. All I hope is that you indulge in that, because I assure you it will not be a waste of your time. But with that all being said, I hope you can like this video for me. Would be really handy. You know, that thumbs up button right there. You should hit that shit. Oh, and the big red button, not too far away from it. Hit that too. That one really matters, because like that tells YouTube that people want to see us. Like, tell YouTube that you want to see us. Be pretty dope. That's all I got for this opener. Held you up long enough. So without further ado, on to the show. And so, we return to the City of Doors, Sigil, and the party in the form of Cassius the Tiefling, Arudim the Half-Orc, Naleek the Half-Elf, and Crantor the Gallataur. Last we left our party, they, alongside Deus, met up with a mysterious trio of adventurers who seemed to be in Sigil at the same time to achieve very similar goals. With them all deciding to reconvene at the St. Cinnabon shop, the majority of the Riebian group make their way through the roads, making basic acquaintances, with the exception of Naleek and Crantor pondering how secretive this new trio really is. Elsewhere, atop the roofs, Arudim and Tuscan have a tense discussion about their curses and the causes, with Arudim expressing how trivialized he felt by the circumstances. Tuscan assured him that Arudim must have been very important to be put in these circumstances, however, and tensions seemed to subside. In the process of their conversation, Tuscan was contacted by a comrade of his, Selva, in regards to the Aranyas they fought. After running through the possibilities, Tuscan and Arudim concluded that the Doom Guard attacked both of them as they misunderstood Kosil the Damning's orders. With this, Tuscan questions the trustworthiness of Naleek, to which Arudim starts to entertain the idea of. Tuscan clarifies that this is because his enemy and the person that Naleek are looking for are one and the same, Carrick. Arudim immediately makes sense of a lot of what has transpired as a result, and they opt to meet back up with everyone else. Eventually, they all regrouped and finally made their way through the rainy streets of Sigil to the St. Cinnabon shop. The group only grew larger when the mysterious trio met back up with 3 more of their own comrades, Asanim the Fearbolg, Selva the Centaur, and Grimwald the Mousefolk. The latter 2 came over to introduce themselves to the main group, but it didn't take long before the studs of the 2 parties stepped up to take a spicy Cinnabon challenge with Deus. After Arudim shows up the rest of them, they all finally have a seat and begin discussions, which get very intense very quick. The party learns that the missing friend of Naleek, Carrick, is actually an affiliate of Tiamat and associate of Kosil. Furthermore, he's ascended to the form of Pit Fiend, and is now a member of the group called the Dark Eight. Distraught, Naleek comes to grips with this as more and more details come to light and verify the worst. Alas, it is the worst of timing, with Asanem the Fearbolg claiming that he must speak in private with Deus, but Deus understands that the circumstances and bids adieu to her newest comrades with some parting gifts. And big paychecks. With Deus and Asanem on their way to Limbo, the remainder of the 2 parties still bask in the revelation of Naleek's friend, now seemingly turned foe. And with that, I'm gonna take us over to the map. This is pretty much for visual purposes, kind of like the Silver Swords was. This is just kind of there so that way everybody can visually pinpoint it.
I like it.
I drew it myself. I couldn't really find something that was fitting to what I was going for with how custom the layout was, so I'm like, I'll just draw it. Doesn't need to be anything too fancy. Hence the scribbled lines.
Absolutely, looks great.
But yes, You guys all heard in the distance, Deus's son of a bitch momentarily caught the attention of some of the patrons here in the tavern. The troll, the centaur, even the Firbolg here. But again, getting back to their business. Or rather, tending back to their own whatever they may be doing. Grim, you'll actually note that Firbolg sitting over there is Dormir. He was your tout who brought you here, pretty much.
Grim looks over his shoulder. Dormir, it's good to see that you're still around.
Oh, yes. I saw an old friend of mine here, and he gestures to the ram-horned centaur kind of looking person. Like, they have humanoid features, but they do seem to have a light fur kind of grazing over their body. Much more than a centaur would, but nowhere near like Crantor. But yeah, Dormir's, I saw an old friend, so I decided to sit down. I've been to this shop a few times myself.
Let me know when we can script the payment for your tout service.
Oh, I'm gonna be here for another hour or two. You can throw it my way anytime. Before you leave, of course. And then you see this one right here, in Sylvan, for those of you who understand Sylvan. Yeah, make sure to get it to him.
Eyebrow raised from Crantor.
Oh, that's right, Crantor. Yes, Crantor does know it. I'm not sure if Grim does.
Grim did the same thing, raised his eyebrow at him.
I love it. The lad was in the Feywild for so long. Couldn't speak Sylvan. What a champ.
That must have been tough.
Grim just ignores them until he's ready to pay them at his own pace.
Yeah, Selva's kind of like peering over your shoulder, just like squinty eyes as if she's threatening this delicate little centaur. Eventually, Nala's gonna be there. Well, anyways, I want to get away from this tension. So, come to the counter with me? Sure. So kind of seems a little uneasy by that, but you can tell there's some sort of cue to that. Which is strange, Dantu and Tuscan, considering that they said that out loud when they could have very easily said that telepathically.
Yeah. Dantu's kind of just blank-minded. He's just staring right into the table, his hands crossed, just kind of pondering everything that's going on right now. It's like, so you can cut the tension with a knife in this place, huh? How about we get a couple drinks going and anybody care for a bite?
That sounds like a wonderful idea. Well, not for me, but everyone else here, right?
You don't drink?
I'm too young.
Just eyes fell lazy.
To assume. Yes, he gestures towards Tuscan.
Yeah, I'm gonna go let the girls know to get us all drinks too. I'll be back.
Tuscan in Grim's head, you're just like, please don't leave us. We are not the social ones.
Crantor blinks. Just slow blink.
And Naleek just slumps.
Cowtail just lazily flinging in the back.
Yes!
Chewing his curd. Cud.
It is served here. You see these big old pillows. Just for clarity, that's what you're sitting on. And these are actually
eat the pillow.
It is hay in it. Yeah. It's just hay in a pillow sack kind of thing. So, I mean...
Oh man, this is good service. The breadsticks or the buns at Olive Garden and Texas Roadhouse.
Fucking Texas Roadhouse. Jesus.
Antu looks up at everybody in the eye. Have any of you ever felt like you're a slave to your own power?
Arudim raises his hand but then lowers it.
I mean,
Crantor just blinks nervously.
there have been times where Grandma's tried. Look over at Arudim. Yeah, she's tried more than once.
What did you do to make her happy again?
I just have to keep reminding her that she doesn't have to try.
Because you owe her.
Well, I mean, she did save my life.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, when we was in Avernus...
Benevolent evil outsider, just saying.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, when we was in Avernus, she tried to, thanks to Naleek there, failed, but tried to kind of influence both Arudim and I. Zariel, by the way. Sorry, I didn't know if I'd explained that before.
I was a little lost.
I would avoid mentioning that name.
At least in Sigil, we shouldn't talk about highly powerful beings.
Precisely. Specifically, deities.
Anything like, yes.
Well, that takes away most of my topics of conversation.
Allow me to start one. We're both going to the same destination, so we're traveling together. Is that correct?
At the very least to the all-knowing.
Yes, that's what I mean. Our primary objective of even going to Sigil was for this purpose.
For us the same. Well...
So then, I understand it's a personal question, but I might as well ask because I'm bored as hell, and there's nothing here to fight. What would you ask? Besides the obvious. Is there something you've always been curious about? What if he gave you a freebie? Like, hypothetically, if this individual gave you a free question, and they would answer...
Well, to tell you the truth, for my own case, if it were up to me, I honestly probably wouldn't even be asking him any questions.
Content with the way you are and knowing what you know?
I mean, it's worked out as it has, so... I'm still here. There's nothing else I can really figure out that would satisfy me, I feel like.
Interesting. What about you, Tuscan? If you could have a freebie, what would it be? Besides the obvious.
Well, that is... I hadn't really considered it, at least in the way you're asking. It all depends on what we find out.
Hypothetically, if it were... Hypothetically, this is completely for the fun of it. If you could ask any question besides something super serious, what would it be?
How Pax is resting. He has a little smile on his face, looking up at you and then looks down.
That individual you had mentioned before.
Well, one of several. He was always very close to me. In a certain way, I suppose spiritually, if nothing else.
Well, it's a good one. Checking up on old friends is always nice. I don't remember if I have any. He, thinks back. Besides the boys, and he uses air quotes.
Thank you for reminding me. That's right, we need to ask Nala something.
And then Tuscan catches himself about to yell out and looking around at all the creatures in this large section of the tavern.
I'll just wait till she comes back. But yes, we need to ask
Smart.
Nala about your markings. We need to see what she thinks of them.
Get her judgments.
The
Perhaps
ones
even
on my
sense.
hands?
Yes, that has to do with your curse, correct?
As far as I'm aware, yes.
Well, then we may be able to determine the nature of yours, if it's different than mine. That's the two, but I don't know why they won't. And then Tuscan's looking over at them, and Dante, you hear in your head, can you two please come back over? You kind of walked away at an awkward time. And I was like, yeah, no shit, that's why we walked away.
I'm just like, I can't be the only one keeping the conversation now. I could talk out my ass, but seems everyone there's got a problem.
Literally sorted things out with Castor for me, but you're not. Oh, okay.
I'm coming back right now. Don't worry your little pretty gold head.
It is cold, actually. Thank you for noting that.
Artem's just gonna look to Castor, Naleek, and Crantor as they're walking back. What about you three? If you could ask a freebie, something non-serious, a little whimsical, what would it be?
I mean, you say non-serious, but the only thing that pops into my head is, despite everything I've heard from Rosie and my sister, kind of like to know what my mom was like,
It's nice.
Never got to meet her.
Moms can be good for people. Naleek, what about you?
What?
You know what? Never mind. You seem like you're still taking the news pretty hard. My bad. Should have been more sensitive to that. Crantor! Hey, buddy.
Head back down.
Yeah, you need a drink. Hold on.
Grim actually came back and started. Well, he didn't pass himself yet. Have someone help him bring back drinks. I can't bring him back myself.
Yeah, no, I imagine after a few steps you falling, you would have gotten a mage hand to help you out from behind as the ladies return to the table. You'll hear, for lack of a better term, cat call towards Selva from one of the barrier, and she will not respond whatsoever, continuing on to her seat. They leave her be, especially looking over at the table.
Arudim just smiles and is like, I like her. Takes no shit, I like it. But looks over to Crantor. Crantor, ask anything, whimsical or not. If you got a freebie, no strings attached, no price, what would it be?
Well, all of my questions have to do with powerful entities that I can't talk about here as per the previous conversation.
What about the lady?
But,
anything you'd like
that
to know
also,
more about her?
Yeah.
There's
Says
quite
Naleek.
a bit I'd like to know more about her, but
I
feel like that's best.
Interesting.
Yes, a bit of mystery.
Apparently. Seems to have
apparently,
worked
yeah.
wonders for the two of you.
Still, it's hard. being so separate from her without any contact in the last 15 years at all.
You know what we
I
should have
thought-
done? We should have got you two a pair of sending stones.
But if we're going non-serious, I would ask, how do I become even bigger and larger with more muscle mass and height?
Well, what's your workout regimen?
Usually
The
lifting
small
trees.
kobold
You don't-
asks.
Crantor doesn't have one. That's the thing.
When he was a hermit, he was lifting a lot of trees and rocks and shit.
That was 6 months, 4 arcs, 2 campaigns ago.
It doesn't matter.
Can I ask what this hypothetical was? I walked away with the girls and didn't get to hear it.
Oh, just hypothetically, we find this person, he gives us a free question. If it were a non-serious, non-obvious question, what would you ask them?
To be honest, it'd be nice to know that there wasn't only just me around, that there'd be other feet to Pete, you know? I don't know if any of my family's left. I got stuck in the Feywilds, and I don't know how long time passed, but it'd be nice to know if there are, maybe 1 or 2 siblings still running around somewhere.
Naleek perks up. You got stuck in the Feywilds too?
Yeah, for quite a little bit. It's quite a crazy situation until I met these guys.
And he looks over at everybody in the group. You all met in the Feywilds.
Well, technically,
I believe it.
Technically, I took it as an out. So you see, they were sent there on a quest by,
That person wishes.
I have his, shop stapled on my shirt so I could represent here. But anyway, I took it as a way to get out of the Feywild. So, it's been just a happy family since then. I'm the glue that keeps everything together. If I'm not around, these people all fall apart. You know what I'm saying?
Nala speaks up. You all have no idea. She's looking at Dontu, Tuscan, and Selva. You all have no idea how true that is. Appreciate this, man. Pointing at Grim.
But I guess if I could ask a more serious question, I want to know if it's actually feasible if I could become the greatest bard of all time. I know it's an outrageous thing to say, but a little mousefolk like me can dream, right?
I mean, I guess it depends on your definition of the greatest of all time. Do you mean you are the pinnacle of all bards, past, present, and future? Or just present and past?
I mean, the first one sounds way more pleasant, so I'd like to go with that one, actually.
Fair enough. A little greedy, but I respect it.
Hey, what can I say? I'm a very confident mousefolk. I don't see myself as this puny little creature that everyone else sees me as. I see myself as a giant. As big as Crantor over there.
Crantor just has a eyebrow raise at that.
It's all state of mind in my brain. Plus
What
a little
about
bit
you?
of
Points to Nala.
I wish I didn't know everything.
You know everything?
Yeah, time travel
Not-
must be a bitch, huh, Nala?
Shut the
Nudges her on
fuck
the
up!
arm.
She's Grim. 1 sec. Yeah, does a 17 hit Grim?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Alright, she's sitting crisscross on this pillow and she props herself up on her hands and front drop kicks Grim.
Ouch.
Straight into something. She's like, shut the fuck up! Yeah, wish I didn't know, everything, how smug this little dipshit is.
Arudim just has, this cracked orc smile, just these fucking idiots, I like them.
What can I say? I'm sorry. This group isn't really known for keeping secrets. Just look at the yellow little gold one down there. He's the king of not keeping secrets.
Well, to be fair, when I first met Dontu, he was adamant that I was keeping something from him that was going to be detrimental to his judgment of me as a person. So I
Were you?
kind of made it up. What's this?
Were you keeping
No.
something from him?
No, I mean nothing.
This is some-
Minor details that didn't really matter, that they didn't really inquire
Insight.
about.
You got
ahead.
very
I'd like to
defensive
roll
about
insight.
that.
Yes, of course I did, Grim, because this has been the story of my last 2 lives.
So you
That-
were keeping something from him.
Oh, God. I like these guys.
That's gonna be a 17.
You can tell that he is very used to people not trusting him, and he just gets kind of frantic of it because he's kind of tired of it.
I see. Same though.
But yeah, he's...
Real life, not Crantor. Everyone trusts Crantor for some reason.
Well, what about you? What was your name again?
Oh, I am Selva.
Selva. If you could ask anything, what would it be? For free. No prices or anything.
Well, to be quite honest, and I think this may surprise everyone, but I would like to have a chance at redemption against the Varoga.
Bro, what?
The Varoga.
See, I'm with that one.
They are a monster-hunting group of gnomes in the continent of Bayono, mainly Lingarthian. And they have hunted many of my people. They hunted Dantu's people. And shortly after we all met, we sought after them. And in the battle where Dantu slayed the Hydra, nearly all of us, save for him, perished. This was before we had met Grimwold. So, as a result, we all decided to veer back on course with our plans to seek out the stones of knowledge. She kind of like squirms her eyes trying to figure out how to not say Ion. And then she goes, and we have not returned since, but we do know that there are at least a dozen other members of the group still out there, including the leader. And
There's just too many for me to take out at the moment. I couldn't do it by myself.
we were all back up and with you.
Monster hunters, and they considered you monsters.
Oh, they had a very, a very discriminatory mindset of monsters, especially in the continent of Bayono, where creatures outside of humanoids, gnomes, halflings are not very common among society. It's very
Interesting.
They
old-fashioned.
considered my family was just money. That's what they considered my family. Way to make some really easy money.
So they're racists.
They're genocidal bounty hunters out for poaching sentient beings. Of course they're racist. I would be lying if I said my tribe and I haven't faced similar trials, but nothing like that.
All I have left of my clan is this shield I bear and this axe that I hold. It's my sister's own shell.
Whatever god is one that you serve, then I'm sorry for your loss and I hope it blesses you.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing, is that I don't really serve any god, but it seems like I'm doing a lot of god business.
Yeah, for what it's worth, Cassius will just reach up and tap his sword. That's a sentiment I understand. A bit too much.
Nala speaks up. Are we all starting to sense a theme here? We all getting on the same page?
I think we really are, and I feel like, we all could do with a vacation away from our own vacation.
Ooh, vacation sounds nice.
You couldn't
We'll
have
go to the
said that
Beast
better.
What is it with
My
all
personal
vacations and
idea
always
of
going?
a vacation is hunting the hunters.
Well,
I'm with you on that one.
I tried to go on vacation and it ended up with me getting in a fight with King Rogard and having my best friend die right in front of my eyes.
Wow, way to bring down the mood. I respect it, though.
I'm sorry. I was just reminded that I left this whole ideal of helping out my comrades here and decided to do my own thing, and it led me back to a land that was broken and people that needed help, and I guess I was that person.
Damn.
Two things. One, Tuscan immediately went pouty face when Dantu said best friend. Second, Crantor, King Rogar. That is the current king of Mindafall. The
Yes, it is.
ancient copper dragon.
He was sending.
Motherfucker said, yeah, let me fight a copper dragon. I'm sure it'll be fine.
He was
Wait.
sending out people
No, go
that were
ahead.
fighting in the arenas as mercenaries to go fight in a war that they shouldn't have been fighting to begin with. So I made a bargain with him that if he were to fight me and my comrade in the arena, that if I take his life, then I would end this whole war and all this pointless death, or I would die trying. Well, didn't
So he left you with survivor's guilt and grief.
Honestly, I don't really feel guilty. I feel like more guilty that I decided to come back, and that's really horrible to say in front of everyone here. It's a very selfish and horrible thing to say, but there's things that I want that I can't have because of the person I am and the things that I have to do.
See, kind of Tuscan sinking at that. Selva is not reacting at all, and Nala kind of just purses her lips and widens her eyes like, yeah, tell me about it.
Arudim looks over at Naleek and Crantor for 0.2 seconds, looks over at Cassius for another 0.2 seconds, and pretends nobody saw that quick eye flash of him looking at his friends.
I just want to imagine when you do that, Crantor's arm is just casually around Naleek.
Grim's gonna stand right up on the table and smack Dantu in the face. Just straight up open palm. What the hell's wrong with you? If you feel the need to say all this stuff now, why didn't you say it before, huh? You can't just make this excuse just because these new people are here. Look at the guy that's right next to you. You're breaking him.
I'm fine, really.
He gets back down. He gets back down. Grim's
He's into a ball and crying, snot dripping out of his snout. I'm fine, guys, really.
Grim's all fucking mad now at Dawn too.
Oh yeah, no. Tuscan is not actually that emotional, but he's very clearly upset. He's not just snot crying like that though. But
I know, but like that image would be hilarious.
it would be. But no, Grim just jumping up and smacking the taste out of Dantu's mouth like that. Oh man.
And Dantu's just sitting in his own shit now.
Well,
You don't got a word to say.
to brighten the mood a bit more, who wants drinks?
I'll take one.
They're on the way.
After all that.
I ordered some at the bar, but
Yeah, no, they actually Grim has like 2 trays. One was set down by a mage hand of knowledge. And knowledge just said there's more on the way. So knowledge just starts mage handing out some of the drinks, setting him down. Just don't worry about what it is. I don't know either.
Cool,
okay with
I
that.
can't get drunk.
Hey, bitchin'. And yeah,
Arudim,
he also-
a question for you. What say you after all this business is done with Backwoods Hand, Kitty Cat Man, Sister, and if Grandma doesn't have any more pressing errands for me, what say you and me go find the rest of them hunters?
would relieve a lot of stress.
Arudim smiles and he's like, I always loved taking people down a peg, and I feel like that shit list has gotten so small with only one name on it. And he pulls out a piece of paper, and it's a horrible drawing of Kosel. I'd love to add something
need
to
this.
this. I was born and bred to fight, and even though I enjoy peace and camaraderie, there's something about my blood and my heart that actually feels alive when I fight, which is why I seek it out so often, I suppose.
you all hear
So
some.
yeah, I want to kill those hunters real bad.
Oh, well, that's pleasant. But
Sounds like a date.
With that's. You want to read books? Tuscan blurts out, "No, that was a joke," in reference to Seekers. Very old standing joke. Pax told Tuscan that a date is 2 people sitting in a room silently reading books together.
no, we would not be reading with the Varoga. But again, that is a pipe dream.
No,
If you're going to-
we'd be reading their obituaries.
Oh, that's fair, I suppose.
But no, and she kind of looks up at everybody really quick in their group, looking for an approving glance.
Well, actually, if you have a desire for battle to that extent, would you like to join us on our voyage into the Hells?
Tuscan
Oh,
just
man,
like,
you're going back, huh?
wide-eyed.
Yes, that is the goal.
In it group in mind, you hear Tuscan going, just like, "Selva, are you sure about this? This is..."
She's like, absolutely. Especially if they've already been there.
But yes, no, Selva speaks up out loud again. She's like,
Yes, we were coming here to ask the all-knowing where Carrick was located. Exactly, so we can appropriately plan how to take him out.
Well, he was on the
given-
shit list now because he's hurting and playing with the feelings of my friend here, and he puts an arm on Naleek's shoulder.
"He probably doesn't
care
even
about-
know or care if I'm still alive."
Look, we don't know shit. What we do know
You're damn
is that
right we
now
don't.
he's a devil.
Yeah.
I mean, even
Hell, maybe
Personal
if we
feelings
beat him,
aside.
he'll revert back to being normal. We don't know.
on top of that...
Do you know how
personal
naive that
feelings-
sounds? Naleek just snaps at you, Arudim.
Yeah, I know exactly how naive that sounds. I'm trying to be positive for once.
Grim says, "Yeah, you shouldn't be so quick to shoot down the positive outlook on things, because it could be the outlook that actually you need."
Naleek, I understand you've gone through some shit, but the shit that you have gone through is nothing compared to what I have done and seen in the short amount of time that I have been alive. I don't mean to minimize any of your feelings, but what you're feeling right now is nothing compared to what I have gone through. I'm trying to be empathetic and positive. If we can save this asshole that you care about, then we're going to do it. But if we can't, he needs to be put down.
Arudim, forgive me. Forgive me. And he kind of stands up and he's just... So you're implying that you've had worse than your best friend turning out to be on the verge of ending existence? Yeah.
Have you grown up with a father who beat you every single
Yes!
day? within an
Yes,
inch of
I
your
have.
life?
That's why I've always empathized with you. I've lost my mother to similar circumstances to you losing your mother. We are freaking parallels. And I constantly try to empathize with you. But I just can't. And now he just kind of storms past.
Artem's gonna chase after him. Don't you fucking walk away from this!
1 second.
Before Arudim can go anywhere, he's going to have a body in the way.
Whoops,
No.
my bad.
Sitting where Cassius was sitting would be a little translucent silhouette, as in the direction that Arudim would move, Cassius would be in the way. There would be his echo.
Standing in the way or where you were?
The echo would be where I was. Cassius would be in the way. And he would just look straight at Arudim. I know what you're trying to do, brother, but he's in a very emotional state right now. It's best to just let him be. I know you're trying to help, and believe me, I'm there with you. But he's got his reasons.
We have the answer to his goddamn problem. On a silver platter, just waiting for us the minute we get out of here. And he's going to waste time sulking.
Yeah? And how long do you think I spent time sulking when I found out my sister was gone? It happens.
You didn't have an answer right in front of you, though. The way
No.
was dark, unclear. For him, it's right in front of him. He can take it, he can grab it.
But he has to come to terms with what that means. It means killing somebody he cares about. It'd be like me having to put you down.
And I don't mean to intrude on all of your personal business, but I will state this much. Carrick is not possessed. He is not under the influence of anything. He is actively making his own decisions. He is very in tune with his thought process.
Yeah, but isn't he a pawn? Grim speaks up. I mean, technically, isn't he following someone?
No, he made it a point. With the time that I was with him, Tuscan says very disparagingly, that he is allies with Tiamat, that his goals are mutually beneficial, and that he claims to have the leverage in the situation. Of course, those could all be bluffs.
Well, you know me. I'm always looking for a way to talk things out rather than shed blood. Tired of all the bloodshed, man.
Honestly, I agree with him.
Arden feels
But fact
slightly
of the matter-
guilty in the back of his head. Man, I can't get enough of the bloodshed.
Yeah, don't worry. So does Dante. Dante's like, that's all my whole life's been. It's pretty much how it's always going to be.
And Cassius will, again, look straight at Arudim. Regardless of whether or not emotions are tied to this, business is going to lead us there. Me at the very least.
Arden takes his foot off the table. Like, he was ready to fucking pounce on that motherfucker. Like, bitch, you will not be sad. I will hug you.
And then Cassius once again will swap places with the Echo. Poof. In a split second, Cassius is sitting next to you again. Where Cassius was is just a translucent shadow of himself.
Arden's gonna inspect it for just a second, grabs the underchin and, like, moves its face around, like, what in the what? Touches the horns, flaps the clothes, like, what?
This is interesting.
Since when could you do that?
Well, you haven't seen anything yet.
Huh? Grandma
There's-
gave you a goodie bag?
That's one way to put it. There's a lot I haven't shown you. But don't take it personally.
Well, color
I want-
me excited then.
Believe me, I want nothing more than be able to show you what I'm truly capable of. But as long as we've got somebody who's out there reading our minds, the less he knows what I can do, the better.
Oh, would
Yeah,
you
that's
two
fair
like to
enough.
join the voyage?
Well, here's how I see it. Your enemy is somebody who is directly opposed with my grandmother, so to speak. So,
Ancestor, progenitor, whatever you want to call it.
let's just say the matron of my lineage and the source of what I'm able to do. You know, grandma. Since we're not allowed to use names here for whatever reason. But
You're telling me. Nala just kind of chuckles at that.
Nala, sweating profusely.
the guy you're after, it seems to have it out for my grandma. Now, I've already told her plenty of times that should it come to it, I'll be there to fight for her. Which pretty much means that me and this Carrick, are gonna have it out one way or the other. So I don't think I much have a choice in that.
Might as well
Whether
get a
I
head
want to
start
avoid it
with
or
some
not.
friends.
Exactly. That's how I see it. And if we do knock some sense into him, he comes to and actually goes back to the way Naleek's been being, then all the better. But if I've got to take him out, well, so be it.
All this talk of fighting a pit fiend is just getting my blood boiling. In a good way.
And the echo will vanish.
Well, as soon as Naleek cools off, I say we go and find this one who knows all as soon as possible. We strategize, we plan, We learn about each other's strengths and weaknesses so we can cover each other's bases, and then we destroy this pit fiend and make sure that he can't hurt anyone else.
Sounds like a plan to me.
You make it sound pretty easy, but you know what? I like hearing it like that rather than how hard it actually is going to be, so glad you guys are coming with us.
Cassius just starts laughing at that. You've not met us. Everything's easy with us.
Oh, well then,
Crantor,
we're going to get along great.
Cassius and I, we've seen some shit. We've got this.
You see, I think out of all of us in this group, I'm the one that likes taking it the easy way too. And, you know, I think we're going to get along just great if we're going to get this done as easy as you guys say.
He's a pit fiend. If it bleeds, it dies. And if it lives, I can kill it. That's simple.
Been working on a way, by the way. I mean, we could probably use it for this pit fiend, but I've been working on a way for backwards hand kitty cat man. Roll with me on this one, Arudim. I'd ask Naleek, but he's not here. And he'll point to Tuscan, Nala, and everyone. And you guys feel free. Now, we all know that if fiends get slain anywhere than where they call home, they just go back home. They get reborn, and they just come back. Probably a bit more pissed off, but they come back regardless.
Yes, but have you noticed that the ones we killed earlier, their corpses remained?
Yeah, I did notice that.
It seems like we should investigate that at the very least.
My personal running theory is just that it's the ruler of this city is the best way I would say it. And of course, these two individuals over here look right at Tuscan saying that. It's like, it is possible that they cut off the ties to the archfiends that ruled over them.
Now that is an interesting strategy.
That would explain a lot. I haven't been able to talk to Grandma since I got here.
Yes, I have not been able to talk to Knowledge either.
But were we not able to do that anywhere else but here, like if we was in Avernus or wherever it is that we end up having to fight him, I was kind of ruminating on a way that we could kill him. Now,
go on.
Well, simple. You know that I've got the ability to banish people, in a sense. I kind of explained it in Avernus when I was under the influence. Effectively, we mortally wound somebody. We mortally wound him. We don't kill him. We just put him almost there. Then we send him home. We don't have to kill him on his home plane, if you're following my logic here.
I do, but I thought Avernus would be his home plane.
No.
Is it?
Since his castle was in Avernus.
Well, the 9 hells are the home planes of all Rakshasa. It is a Rakshasa,
So then
right?
it would
You
be
said
fine
balance.
no matter what, as long as we're in the 9 hells then.
Yes.
Was it Tuscan that said that or Noah?
Yeah, Tuscan.
Cassius will look at Tuscan. Yeah, you're right, it was, but I refuse to dignify him by calling him that. He's back with hands, kitty cat man. It's much more appropriate.
That was the... It gives it away enough. There's no such thing otherwise, so I think it's magic.
That's the point.
It's also really gross.
That's the point.
I have seen very weird things.
Well, I understand this point. There are some devils who are actually quite attractive.
Look, me, Grim, and Selva were all crawling through the Shadow Dark not 2 months ago. We've seen some very obscure and grotesque things. Backwards hands, not that bothersome. Oh, imagine that was in a kid voice.
I'm not so much worried about that. I just don't want to show that man any respect, because he doesn't deserve it.
Then who do you beat when you beat him? Some nobody that wasn't even worth your acknowledgement? Acknowledge the might of your enemy.
Somebody so worthless that you don't give them the respect or time of day.
Acknowledge the worth of your enemies. Dantu would not be the Omni Slayer if all of those creatures weren't acknowledged for how mighty they were.
Respect is a two-way street, and somebody who tries to turn my allies against each other by taking their family and turning their family against each other is not worthy of my respect. And I don't care who agrees with that or not. That is the hill I will die on.
Oh, I see. There's much more personal roots here. Never
And believe
Oh
me,
no, don't worry. Cassius always respects a good fight if it's, well, done right.
honor begets honor. Cowardice, such as with him, begets disrespect.
On the main subject, what is our next step to getting to the one who knows all?
Nala speaks. I was like, didn't your friend mention something about an informant imp in the market board?
Yeah, she did mention that, didn't she? We was not supposed to mention her either. We was not supposed to mention her by name.
I thought she said to mention her by name.
Oh no, she said not to. She was like quite adamant, don't do it, otherwise this imp's gonna freak the fuck out. Which of course makes it all the more interesting to do.
Plan we go there in disguise, do it, freak him out afterward.
Is a disguise really necessary?
No, but sometimes it's fun.
More power to you.
I remember my first disguise. I was 8. I killed a noble.
Oh, you must have been so proud.
I was.
Good for you, man. Like, Nala sounded like she meant that, but she's just kind of like dismissive of this whole situation right now.
I once played a concert for my siblings at the concert hall when I was 8.
I mean, if we're talking what we did when we was 8, I just remember my sister getting angry with me. She just baked a cherry pie. It smelled so good. I was 8. What? Don't look at me like that.
Arudim was just looking at you like, oh, you fucked it up, didn't you? He's got that shit-eating grin like, you fucked it up, didn't you?
No,
any 8-year-old would have fucked that pie up, okay?
You're damn right.
That cherry pie's eulogy began when it came out of the oven.
I only wish that my parents or my siblings had any cooking skills. A lot of it was mostly scraps that we could just scounger about, but...
Belle's an amazing cook. I'll tell you what. Oh, man. I've never had anything like it since.
We haven't really been appreciating the finer dining since we've been traveling, I can't say so myself. More so just ration after ration.
You should come with us to Celestia sometime, or at least me. I'm not banned from Celestia. Looks to the both of them.
What happened is, this probably has stories to do with people that we can't talk about, does it?
No, actually.
Actually, no.
Oh,
You want to do this? You want
Naleek got eaten by a bag of devouring. Naleek goes inside and gets devoured. I get devoured by touching it or whatever. I don't even remember it. My head hurts. Then we're in the astral plane. I get swept up in a psychic storm. That fucking hurt.
Oh, yes. Oh, those are the worst. You can...
Wait, you can feel pain?
Barely.
Grim's eyes are
it's
wide
mental.
open.
It was more of like my very soul and mind was being ripped asunder, and every fabric and fiber of sanity and self-consciousness was being eviscerated.
It is very maddening.
Sounds like Monday.
How much time lapsed before you landed back on another plane?
I'm not really sure. It wasn't too long. At least for me. But for the others, it was, what, days? A week?
2 days.
Somewhere in that. Yeah,
2
somewhere
days.
in there. A few days.
It was just 2 days.
Oh.
Wow, that's actually
Quite
extremely lucky. I got lost in the astral sea for months from a storm once.
What can I say? I'm good at what I do. And that's surviving.
Heavens forbid you ever get caught in one of those storms when you're projecting.
Projecting.
Astral projecting. You use ki, I thought you knew.
I've studied it, but I thought that was something that only people of, grand... I'm talking decades worth of training, decades worth of studying, meditation, discipline that I don't have.
Not yet, at least.
Not yet, precisely. Thank you, Cassius.
I'm not sure if I even have the lifespan left for that. Us orcs don't live very long.
Oh, but if we look into that clone spell, certainly. Oh, now just groans out loud. You can't be fucking serious, Huskin.
Dante rolls his eyes as well.
What? He may need it even more than I do. Come on, you were all the one who made Gyaksu into me, okay? You see what happens with this whole reincarnation nonsense. The cloning is the better option, surely.
If I can find a way to lead my tribe forever into a direction that won't get us seen as monsters, then by all means, I'll do what it takes.
Well, then if that's the case, we need to figure out the extent of your curse, and that clone spell may help you throughout the decades that may come in the process of exploring this option. With that being said, could you take off your gloves?
There's a moment of hesitation, but he does, and the white tattoos and the black tattoos on his other hand just have this vague eeriness to them as you stare at them. Not even magic that you can really sense too much of, but they don't even glow. It's just this feeling of unease as you look at them.
Tuscan looks at it for a moment and then looks over to Nala and Selva, who are both kind of staring at it. And finally, Tuscan will speak. Well, are you getting any impressions from these?
Anything?
Was I supposed to?
Grim.
Tuscan just throws his hands up. I'm kidding. Yeah, honestly, it looks like some sort of forced curse. I want to say that some sort of mage probably sealed something in you, or sealed something from you. One or the other. Were you born with these?
It's weird. I don't remember anything really before. I don't remember being any younger than 4. Everything earlier than 4 is blank.
Anybody in your tribe mentioned that you've had this since you were a baby?
My mother and father were... He holds his head, trying to think. It's almost hard to recall, but I feel like yes. Yes, I've definitely had these along with this. And he shows the etches, like the scar in his shoulder, by removing the armor in the place where he marks it down, both on his armor and under that armor he marked it on his skin.
Yes, your previous lives. Sounds like okay. I don't know what to say, buddy, but these look like curse runes. It looks like a mage probably sealed your ability to reincarnate properly. Nala like glances over at Selva, like, you know something I don't? And Selva looks, well, think about it, Nala. Surely that, what else would it be sealed off from? It actually could be anything. Like, yeah, it makes sense that it would be the curse, and surely it has to do with that and all that, but I honestly think there's a little bit more to it.
What if I'm a horrible person and this mage is protecting the multiverse by sealing me?
But if you're going to ask that question there, you also have to ask the same question. What if those lives aren't yours? And that whatever was sealed in you was done so as a way to protect the world from that.
Yeah,
and that it's not you.
Yeah, and what if Carrick's right to end everything? Yeah.
Oi, don't you be getting that. Like I said, I'm going to deal with that one.
What I'm trying to say is that your problem should be relative to you. Okay? You thinking about it from that grand scheme, from that long ago, you're probably a different person now, quite literally. At this point, your body's a husk for the soul. I hate to sound so cynical about it, but that's probably the most positive way I could put it for you. There we go.
If I could give you my 2 cents about it, it feels like somebody may have had a personal vendetta against you, maybe some type of mage or wizard that decided to curse you. Maybe you did something in your past lifetime that prevented somebody from doing something they really wanted to do.
Shit, if I could just...
Just a crazy theory, you know, I'm sorry.
Anything's better than nothing at this point.
And you know, if you're really desperate, you can go see Wishes fella and just be done with it. Just tell him, get rid of this curse, and he'll poof it away. I saw him do it with somebody's demon a few months back. It was so funny calling him out on it too.
He says unless he's the one that cursed him.
Now that would be interesting.
Think about it. He's been around for a long time. I mean, it's not impossible. He's the only other wizard that I know that's existed as long as you can think.
And if he is the one who cursed me, would that put me at odds?
I mean, it all depends if you figure out more about the situation and the reason why. I mean, it would be hard for you to figure it out just directly getting in contact with him without, you know, him being aware that he's the one that cursed you, but...
We need to find this all-knowing guy soon.
Yeah.
I wonder if Naleek is done with his skulking.
Yeah, I'll go find him. But besides, what the hell ever happened to that ghost? Where the hell did he go?
The one that you had?
I'm supposed to have him for a while. At least until I go to bed. All day.
Did you tell him to follow us?
I thought I did. Don't tell me he's still sitting over that dead body.
He might be. It's a mindless ghost that you control. Who knows? It's probably the same as like a construct.
I mean, he still has all the memories and everything from when he was alive. Oh God, remembers he
brutal.
Yeah, I was about to say that. He remembers what I did to him.
Just Arudim, brutal.
I do feel sorry for the folks that had to repair that roof, though.
Yeah, they just repaired the roof and they're looking at this ghost in a dead body.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go see if I can find Naleek.
Crantor, why don't you go find your boyfriend?
Oh, wait, I'm confused. I thought you just mentioned a wife not too long ago, Crantor.
And what's gonna step away? I'm gonna pay this guy off. He just drops 8 platinum on the table and says, "There you go, bud."
Oh, yeah, little bonus. Thank you much, lad. And the barrier's looking over his shoulder at you like, yeah, that fucker.
Grim looks back at that guy and just gives him the most shit-eating grin he could ever give him.
Arudim
guy,
just looks to Tusk and he's like, "It's just a joke, bud." But kind of not really, as he grins at Crantor knowingly.
Tuscan's literally just deadpan staring at Crantor like, He's almost like waiting a reaction from him, but I imagine Crantor is just not gonna say anything. Castor, or rather Cassius, just as you're walking outside, you're gonna see floating right out there is your specter.
That's where you went. How you doing?
Just turns towards you. Does not respond.
Yeah, I bet you're probably still pissed. Hey, you'll get over it. Boy, I wonder where Naleek went.
Starts
And
trailing.
Can I make like a perception check to see if I can find Naleek in his very standout-ish wooden armor?
As soon as you said that, you saw the specter start moving away from you like it's been doing.
Oh, you know where he went.
Continues on around the building. And for the sake, he's no longer on the map.
Yeah.
Started just leading off down the road a bit, kind of around the side of the building.
Well, I mean, he can't really disobey me, so I'm just going to assume that, yeah, he does know where Naleek's at, so I'm going to follow him. Mind you, Cassius is literally narrating all of this out loud. That was all out loud in character.
I love it. No, that's so good.
Can I just say that Grimwood just finished chugging the rest of his beard? He's like, another! Throws it on the ground.
And someone just kind of hops over the counter, just scurrying over a halfling, just a tray with 2 books, just pops 2 right down in front of you. The halfling very much taller than you.
Amigo. I appreciate your service. He passes him 1 platinum.
Oh, takes the platinum, just so bright-eyed, and just kind of skitters back off towards the counter. Meanwhile, Sylvan's like, "Oh, so you do know Sylvan?
What do you think?
Amigo is Sylvan for friend."
Picked up a couple things, okay? Just don't ask me to translate any full conversations, please.
No need. That is what I'm here for.
Artem, you need another drink, my friend.
Artem just looks at him plainly like, "Yeah, they don't taste great, and I also can't get drunk, so no."
More reason to drink. Come on, I can't drink by myself. My party members don't drink as much as I do.
Ah, I see.
Well,
What's the strongest thing you have?
Well, Grim, it is still light out.
I will
You may be
literally
right.
feel nothing.
Hey,
You may be right.
Selva, don't kill his fun. Don't kill his fun. Nala speaking. I'm just...
Fine.
We
I'll
don't
take
all
it
have to
easy
go
on my-
to the imp.
I'll take it easy on my second drink as long as you guys can carry me. I mean, I'm not that heavy.
Selva just
Drink
kind
a gallon.
of very small sigh.
He's sipping on his beer just nicely. I really hope that Naleek fella's feeling alright, you know? It just doesn't feel right that he was broken this horrible news just so suddenly, and now he's just faced with the reality that he may have to fight his best friend. I guess that's kind of why I'm drinking for him, if that makes any sense.
Well, it's stressful enough here, too.
Well, it seems that there's a lot of baggage between our party and between their party. They just seems to pile up a little bit, so, you know what? Why not just have a good time?
Well, to Arudim's point just a moment ago, our answers are essentially in front of our faces.
We can reach out, touch it, grab it, clutch its heart, and pull it out.
You know, I've never been a fan of that tactics. You know, I've always been the one for peace. I'm a peacemaker. It's unfortunate, but it's the way I see things.
Nala had just signed. She's like, well, then tell you what, me and Grim here. She kind of just plops her arm around Grim really quick, and she's just like, we're looking to just enjoy ourselves. We haven't really been able to do that since we got here. Well, I don't know what he was doing while we were away, but me, Dontu, and Tesla just sat in a tavern for 3 freaking days, and we didn't do anything in it.
That's all I've been doing. Turning into various big creatures.
And I can tell you right now, we survived just fine, all separate and stuff. So why don't you all go find that imp? Find your answers. We'll get drunk here. Nala just smiles and just picks up the other beer, just clanks it against Grim's, and starts drinking and immediately is repulsed by the taste of it.
It gets better the more that you drink, Nala. Come on, trust me. It's not that bad.
God, I just wish I knew it tasted that bad before I took such a big sip.
Look, just take after Artem. He takes a sip of his beer and he doesn't even make a face at all. That's what's inspiring me.
Yeah, good for him. I can taste.
Wait, can you taste? You said you don't get drunk, but I'm just assuming here.
I'm just completely immune to any type of poison, which includes alcohol.
Oh.
I could taste things, which is why these things are shit.
So you can tell that the brew that they brew here is not too good.
Well, to be fair,
No,
this is a Cinnabon.
Alcohol
and a
just tastes terrible.
Okay, I understand. Well, lessens my worries, so the more I drink, I guess the less I worry.
Don't worry, Grim. I will join you in your festivities. And then she kind of just like takes the glass out of your hand and tries to go take a little baby sip of it. Again, repulsed is Selva, but she's trying to deal with it much better than Nala did.
Natu is not drinking at all. He's just swirling the liquid inside the cup and staring at it.
Well,
I don't know what's...
This does seem to be a little bit of an issue. No, it's not. Go do whatever you guys want to do. We're hanging out. We're having a good time.
Dansu looks up to Crantor and he says, how's it like being in a relationship with someone that you get to go back to? And
Crantor's not there. He went after his boyfriend.
oh, did he?
Oh, he did? His token's still there.
His token's still there. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm having tech issues.
I'm so
Why
sorry.
did you? It's okay, my dude. You say so. I'm sorry.
I thought it did. I'm sorry.
Never
I must have
mind.
been muted when I
He
said that.
says nothing and continues to stir his little drink and look at it.
No, I want to imagine that you did say that. You just didn't see him go.
Yeah, no, you looked over and it's just again
Dantu's so
dotted
just
line.
locked in his fucking thoughts that he just thought that Crantor was there. And as soon as he said that, a fucking tear rolls down his eye.
Damn, Tuska's looking up at him like, you okay, bud? He
Dantu just says, no, I'm not.
Listen, there's a spot in Crantor's harem open for Dantu if he wants it. I'm just saying that.
Dude, you have no fucking idea what I've been dealing with this game.
The poly party will continue.
Dantu's just sitting there looking at his drink, knowing that he just tried to talk to someone that already left. Oh.
I want to imagine Ardum's like, well, to be fair, he's pretty light on his feet.
How did he not notice?
Well, he stepped over me and he's...
Crantor.
Well, he stepped over me and he was in my space, so that must mean that he's not visible to you.
Dantu's just looking at his drink, like I said. And Grimwood is continuing to drink with knowledge.
Oh my gosh. Well, Datu, seeing as you want to talk to Crantor, shall we go after them?
Why not?
Arudim, care to join us, or are you going to stay back and enjoy the festivities as well?
I am ready for violence.
Well, we'll more likely find it on the streets than in here.
Dantu says, look, if you losers want to get drunk in here by yourselves, that's fine, but you do know we have an objective and we have to complete it, so come whenever you're ready.
Yeah. No, like I said, you guys go find that imp, or Reax, or whatever. Find out what you need to know. We'll be here when you get back. If not, we'll send for you. Selva's got it. And I'm with Selva.
There is a pained look in Ardum's face, like they're gonna be fucking trashed when we get back.
Yeah, this is just great.
Alright.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
That was Grim in character right there.
I did not mean to let that go. I did not.
We're saving that. Definitely help cut the tension. Just say, if you losers want to stay here getting drunk, Grim lets out an echoing belch. Fine, I guess you guys want to stay here and get drunk.
Whatever. It's their choice.
Cassius and Crantor, because you're there with Cassius, following Cassius' specter. Surely you said things about that.
Honestly, no. He wouldn't have been. Because he, just like, eyebrow raised. Okay.
Alright, so we got Crantor following Cassius' specter, who's leading around the back roads, and...
Now we have Tusk and Dantu and Artemis following as well.
Yep, they're
It's
coming
a game of follow the leader, I guess.
straight up! And just...
We had a
yes,
game
the
like
Congo
that when
line.
we were children. It was follow the leader, but if the leader decides you're out of line, you get kicked in the shin.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I like this game,
It
actually.
sounds like a fun game.
Yeah, it does. I want to play it right now.
Right? Right now!
Tuscan,
I think Tuscan's out of line. Dantu,
Yeah.
you better teach him a lesson.
right on it.
He doesn't look out of line to me, but fine. You're the line leader, I guess.
It's up to me.
As you guys are actually leading through the road there, you're starting to notice the clouds looming above head. There's not rain, but it looks like it's going to. Sure enough, loud thunder booms in the distance, and flashes of lightning kind of show off on the horizon.
That one wasn't me.
As you know, the thunder booming and stuff, and
It also wasn't Nala.
And it could have been. She is getting drunk.
Exactly. It should have been.
wild magic activate.
Oh man.
Cassius, you're being led through a few back streets, and you're seeing some people still wandering about the streets, almost kind of trying to disregard the weather. You notice they seem to be more stubborn-looking folk, though. They usually seem to be like the bulkier type or the machismo type, who are just kind of like, rain doesn't bother me, lightning doesn't bother me, kind of still stuck out on the roads. But other than that, people are kind of scattering under balconies and under some sort of cover, or just going inside, going through these little smaller back roads. You can tell it's not one of the main roads. And sure
Cassius just looks up and, looks around, looks up. Oh man, I even combed my hair today. Aw. Oh well.
I showered so nice, now I'm gonna smell moldy. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Okay. That would be a 16 perception.
Alright, yeah, sure enough, going around the corner and stuff, you're going to see sitting off the side of a tall one-story building. It has a few spikes kind of protruding out of the lining of it, save for a few gaps, one of which Naleek is sitting in. And he's kind of just sitting one leg up, looking up at the sky, being about as angsty and emo as he can be.
God, he's Rico posing.
Yeah.
Cassius would literally just walk over. Is it actually raining?
It's not raining yet, but it smells like rain.
Okay.
Yes.
Cassius walks over, and you know how when you've got that one character in anime and who's always doing this whole laying down, looking at the sky, how somebody else is always going to come over and look right down at them?
Yep.
We're talking about
that's what
That's weak.
Double time.
Kingdom Hearts.
Double.
I love it because Castor doesn't like Kingdom Hearts. Hell yes.
You know what? Never mind. I'm blasting him.
Riku!
Fuck it.
Fine, Crantor will do it.
No! You do the Kingdom
My
Hearts
friends are
thing,
my
and
pals.
it's okay.
Sorry.
I'm the same guy.
Just 13 times.
That guy
Okay.
over
Okay.
there, he's
Anyway, anyway.
We've had
Yes.
enough.
that girl.
Sorry, okay.
Also me. Weird.
Sorry about that, Ken.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Dare you insult me like that?
If it helps, I'm not a big fan of Kingdom Hearts
I
either.
had no clue. I'm sorry.
See, I'm all about telling a comprehensive story.
Hey.
No, and I honestly, good for you on that.
Hey,
Listen,
leave
I'm
my
in a
baby
very
alone.
toxic relationship with Kingdom Hearts, alright?
It tries.
It's very
Trust
abusive.
me.
Isn't every
It's a very
Kingdom Hearts
toxic
fan in a
relationship
toxic
with me, too.
relationship with
Because after Kingdom Hearts
Thank you,
1,
Kobold.
I'm like, please don't continue. I just want to stay here. That's all I need, please.
Prosy D-skit though. The Aqua got Norded. What?
Um,
Aqua got Norded.
No.
You're just
Era's
saying
Norded,
things.
but not Norded at the same time.
You're just saying things. Aqua got Norded. That sounds
Okay,
vaguely
I'm sorry for
inappropriate.
the
I
bad
want her to step
reference.
on me. That's definitely inappropriate.
I'm so I should have nevered.
You should have never, yes.
Yes.
That was your
thank
first
you.
mistake.
I
Everything is
love
your first mistake.
words. I love words.
Okay,
Okay,
go on.
I'm sorry. We need to get back on track. Castor, Cassius has just seen Naleek just kind of looming at the edge of the roof, kind of just looking up pensively.
Yes, Cassius does what Sakura does to Sasuke.
There we go. Apt reference.
There we go. Not much better of a story, but at least you can understand.
At least
Is
you
it?
and I both like
Is
it.
it really?
At least it doesn't make my brain hurt when I think about it.
Right?
Exactly.
It tries.
Okay.
There is effort being made there.
Right.
Cassius just leans in. Oi, you and I should probably talk.
Sure. Why not?
Because whether you realize it or not, I'm gonna have to fight this guy one way or the other. Now, I'd prefer to bring him back to bring him back to sanity, for lack of a better term, really. But if I've got to, I'm gonna have to kill him. I'll tell you what. For what it's worth, I'll do everything in my power to avoid it. And I owe you one. You knock some sense into me, I'll pay you back by knocking some sense into him. And Cassius holds out his hand. Deal?
He sits silent for a moment. He looks down to your hand. It's not quite that simple. First off, he shakes your hand. You do what you gotta do, friend. I have no qualms. Whatever you have to do. If that was the case, I would have stood up and started swinging at Tuscan and all of them. I'm a lot more rational than that, but I appreciate you being considerate in that regard. Arudim really pissed me off.
Yeah. Tact, usually when it comes to stuff like that, it's never been his strong suit.
No.
He doesn't understand feelings the way you and I do. Especially when it comes to friends and family.
No, I wouldn't say that. I'd give him much more credit than that. But I just don't think he's seeing the gravity of the situation and how much bigger it is than me or him or you or them or Carrick. All of a sudden, I'm much more important than I ever thought I would be. Just by being associated with this guy, you know? Like, here I am for the last 70 years looking for approval from good old dad, and then I get to heaven and thought that I didn't need it anymore. And to my credit, I still don't. Right? But now it looks like I'm no longer this person who's achieved their goals or done what they wanted to do with their life. Because it's supposed to be so much more than that. And I don't have a say in that. And that's why I left Mindafall, so I could have a say in what I do. So, in a certain way, this has brought me around full circle into realizing that I have much more responsibility than I ever could have thought of. And that's what I was trying to get away from.
But again, I think that's just more you letting yourself be plagued by the situation. At the end of it all, you know, it is what it is. I mean, sure, there might be consequences and existence itself might be on the line, but when you think about it like that, of course it's going to weigh you down, it's going to stress you. But that's not how I see it. He's a friend of yours, somebody dear to you. That's all I need to know. I don't care what the hell he's trying to do. He's a friend of yours, I'm going to try to get him back. And I bet you're willing to help. I'll drag you down there if I've got to. I know you don't like going down there. You get too wrapped up in fate and trying to please other people.
You know, honestly, want to know what's so upsetting about this whole thing? Is that this is just so Carrick.
Yeah?
Like, as bad of a person as it's going to make him sound like, he's just the kind of person to do something to this crazy extent. And I knew that he meant something serious when he looked me in the eye last time I saw him and told me he was going to go out and change the world. But I had no idea that this is what he meant, and when you really try to put everything in perspective with how all of the gods and overworlds and all that stuff works, which I'm sure you don't know about, I don't mean to sound insulting, but that really is like very clerical stuff. It makes a lot of sense that he would end up going to these lengths. Because he's always been an ends justify the means type of person. And he's always been against inequality in every sense of the word. Almost to a pedantic sense, for lack of a better way of putting it. And ultimately it shows me that this was what Carrick wants.
Yeah.
Naleek is retching in pain. Like, this is not... I've never realized this before, but now it's like, it's just... Maybe he didn't realize it either, but he's always been so absolute in everything that he has set himself out to do. So, when he learns the true extent of what he wants to do, he still commits to it.
Let me ask you this. And Crantor, you feel free to weigh in on this one too, 'cause don't think I don't see you.
Yeah, he's like... He's... The ground is 15 feet down, but you could literally plop down and land on Crantor without either of you taking damage.
I want to imagine Crantor and everyone else is just like hiding behind a barrel. Everyone just like peeking out.
Oh no, Crantor's pretty much at the base of the building, but everyone else is hiding behind a barrel. One barrel.
Yeah, the single barrel.
Dantu, Arudim, and Tuscan are all hiding behind the
I was
one
about to
barrel.
say, I don't know how Dante's big ass is hide behind that barrel, but I mean,
He's not.
Sure.
He's not
That's
hiding.
cool.
He's just standing there behind.
You
it.
know
They're doing
Artem's
Scooby-Doo
there,
thing.
but you don't know where he is. You still don't see him.
Yeah, no.
Dante's not even attempting to hide. He's just standing there listening. I
Artem's
guess.
just using Crantor's perfect cover.
Oh my fucking god, he would be. Hitting his perfect view again.
Tuscan's,
Crantor is perfect, so let's just...
Tuscan's like,
Yeah, let's leave it at that. How about that?
Crantor is perfect. I mean, nobody is arguing with this.
yeah, so you're listening in a second.
Naleek, let me put it to you this way. There are how many people on the material plane right now? Back on Rieba? How many people that wake up every morning, you know, they have breakfast, say hi to their kids. They enjoy life. They commit no crime. They're pious in every sense of the word. They work hard, and they go home. If Carrick is so against inequality, ending their lives, that's one of the most rude things you could possibly do. So, wouldn't it be said that in the spirit of doing things the way he would, to make it fair for everybody, somebody's gonna have to stand up to him?
Well, you're not wrong about somebody standing up to him, but I think that exactly what his sense of equality would be. As cynical as it sounds, there'd be no inequality if there's no one to live in a better way than another. But I mean,
Well, you
that's
know
not
what?
me expressing that thought. That's just me saying that could be his mindset. How else
I
would
understand.
you justify this without being under sort of influence? And granted, it's hard to be so arrogant as to suggest that a mortal is playing chess with these gods and archdevils, but it's...
And Cassius will lean in and whisper, but he's gonna lean in and he's gonna whisper, "Hey Naleek, trust me, my friend, I'm a lot smarter than I let on. I know that's where you're going with it."
Cassius, don't assume I don't give you that much credit. Grandma got that influence over you that day we were gonna raid the fort. I figured that out. I saw just how cunning you are. And even then, you had displayed that to that full extent.
I was trying to be clever about it too.
And you really were. Oh my god, were you? And Arudim too, honestly, it is concerning how deceitful you guys can be. But at the same time, it's a great asset.
I cannot say that I begin to understand how you feel. Really, I can't. But I will say this. First one to come after you was Crantor. He left without any of us even knowing. And that's saying something. Now, I walked out thinking he was still there. Only to come to find out he was standing right behind me as I was tailing Ghosty McAngryface.
Turns around and says, yeah, he's gonna hover over me like that.
You know, I really... You, go back to... You know, just go sit in the street for a little bit, yeah?
Floats right down to the center of the street, just sits there.
Sorry, I kind of asked him if he knew where you were, and so he brought me over here.
Hovered over me because it's showing that he knew where I was. I gotcha. Thing's a little literal. You want to be careful with that. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
not, it
I haven't had much use for it.
Is this your
I
first
haven't been
time?
able to use him. No, it's not my first time, but it's been a good while. Turns out there aren't many people to kill in hell.
It just sounds stupid here. I'm surprised it worked here in Sigil.
Well, I understand it. Basically, it just severs the bond between the spirit and the body, effectively linking him with me. It'll go away after a while. But anyway, just like when it comes to Crantor and his people, just like it comes with Arudim and his group, you don't have to deal with this alone. Anyway,
Look, if you came up here to convince me this has to be done, but it's okay that it's gonna be done, then I'm already there. I understand. That's why this is so upsetting. Like I said, this feels like something that I have to do. I feel like I have to be down. Maybe that sounds selfish of me. Make no mistake, I wouldn't hold it against anybody if he fell to somebody else's sword, but I feel like I need to stop it.
yeah, that makes two of us. Mind you, for completely different reasons. I'm sure you can figure that one out.
3 of us.
Yeah,
Four of us.
we see you over there. Oh, we didn't see you there. Oh.
I figured he was here, I just didn't know where.
Naleek immediately stands up and goes to the other side of the building out of view of Arudim and Crantor.
Naleek.
Don't you dare
Artem's
walk away
already
from
there
me.
around the corner.
Hey, come back down here.
Naleek turns around again, walking back over to the other side of the building.
He's already there.
Don't make me use my jump ring.
You
Just
might
scoffs.
destroy this house. You might destroy this house, man. We should probably come down to you.
Yeah.
They probably
Cassius
have
will-
insurance, it's fine.
Naleek just scoffs and climbs down.
Cassius just jumps.
Do a flip.
No!
I'm gonna
no.
jump. Do a flip.
Right, you ignorant slut.
Okay, so Cassius, I need you to roll me an athletics check for jumping down.
An athletics check. Okay.
Yes. Really should just be a strength, but I'll be friendly, go athletics.
I mean, athletics gives me a massive boost on that one.
I'm pretty sure it does. That's why I'm like, let's be friendly about it. Because this is just jumping down.
I mean, it's what, you said 15 feet?
Yeah, but I just looked, a standing long jump, you can only jump half of your strength, half the number of feet up to your strength score, which would only be 10.
I mean, 22 athletics.
Oh, yeah, you're fine. Yeah, you do a flip. You indeed do a flip. You're literally mid-jump, you're mid-fall, and you hear that as a joke. And you decide to throw in that late flip and just barely land on your feet without it looking like an issue. And for clarity, if anybody wants to say that a flip should be acrobatics, screw that. It was pure core strength that made the rotation happen. So after reconvening all right down in the street in between these two buildings on the side, it's just like it goes, alright, so do you guys remember how to get back to the shop?
I don't have the best memory. You're asking the wrong person if you're asking me.
Oi, Spectre!
What floats over to you? Middle of the road. There was just a cart, NPC stopped in front of it, waiting for the whatever it's obscuring it to move. And then it does, so then it just NPC continues rolling.
Again, with the literal nature of... Gotta remember, this guy has no sense of humor. I mean, when you learn what I did to him, probably his sense of humor died with him.
Then perhaps this is the closest thing to spite it can express.
Yeah, that's where I'm coming from on that one. But, Spectre, take us back to the shop. Correction, lead us back to the shop.
It just starts floating in circles.
It was the same direct...
You notice one of the buildings right next to you has shop in its name.
Are you sure this specter isn't broken?
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
I do not want to know how to turn on a ghost.
I heard specters need updates constantly. You know, it's like a Windows XP. You need to constantly update it.
I love that Astro briefly dropped out of the call from that.
Here, you spiteful little shit. Take us back to the Saint Cinnamon shop.
It starts floating down the road. And it hangs right.
It's a specific bitch.
Must be a Virgo.
Well, I mean, he was our opponent. He was hired by Backwards Hand Kitty Cat Man, and...
You know, I feel like the more aggressive you got with it, the more it listened. So I think you did a good job.
I kind of made it explode. I kind of turned his body into a mass of red paste. He didn't exactly have much of a chance.
Oh my god. I love the savagery. Dantu's not used to having people just straight up say that shit back to him.
Dantu just smirks.
So, gotta remember to be quite literal with his asshole. Little spiteful after what I did to him. Completely understandable. But frankly, if he was stronger, it wouldn't have happened. He should have known better than to shoot Crantor.
Also true.
It's true. Very true.
I was gonna say, yeah, if you're gonna try and disarm somebody, maybe the sorcerer who didn't need their staff to use magic wasn't the smart idea. Instead, should have targeted the warrior's sword.
Well, to be fair, you can't really disarm that one. And he reaches up and taps the metal one. I don't need this one to do magic.
Eventually, you all are led back to the Cinnamon shop, and you walk in. Sure enough, Grim, you've been able to get Nala and Selva quite blitzed.
Yes, baby. Oh, yes, baby. Cause you're, I think you leave this dream. We're all singing in the pub right now, just so you know. Grim's got them all singing.
This is so glorious. Oh my gosh.
Everyone's back! This is glorious! I can't believe my comrades have returned. Everyone! Drinks on me! The comrades have returned!
Free drinks, I'm down.
I'll take coffee.
The accursed specter once again is sitting outside, led you to the Cinnamon shop, not into it.
Where's that lovely server? I gotta pass her 10 platinum. She just deserves it. She's so lovely. She's bringing us drinks to everyone.
Yeah, you see this lady walking up to you, And she has her arm out, and then Nala just smacks her arm and then backhands her straight up. She's, bitch, you aren't our waitress. And then she just looks up and then looks back and forth at the other tables, and then just starts scurrying out.
Damn. Yeah, there's people like this in Sigla. I thought they'd be more civilized. We had such a good time. I thought the same server would have just walked up and realized that I'd been paying her so much money.
How many times has that chick been to our table? See, that's why I don't like drinking. She picks up the mug and she's like looking at it really close. That's why I don't like drinking. She sits it down. She's like...
Nantu just sighs very loudly and says, how many drinks have you guys had? I stopped counting after 5.
Tuscan is not sitting on the table.
I got some catching up to do. And Cassius will shout, can we get some more drinks over here?
Yeah, what are you guys waiting for? I've been paying very kindly tonight. Where are the drinks?
One moment! Someone yells from behind the counter. I don't have the tokens, but there's a few more people at the counter.
So, have you guys decided we're gonna go and find this great ancient one, knowledgeable person, right?
Yes, the great ancient, knowledgeable, all-knowing.
I mean, that's what I
First, don't we
suppose
have
to
to-
assume of her.
Rolls right off the tongue.
Look, we're gonna find her, right? Her home.
We're gonna have to find an imp first, aren't we?
Yeah, it's true.
Is that...
And of course, if that imp wants to be a smart little shit, hey, Arudim. Second verse same as the first?
Oh yes, most certainly.
Alrighty then. The market ward. Wait. We haven't been to the market ward. Tuscan looks up to Nala. It's like, nope. Grim.
Hey Ghost, take us to the market ward.
That's not how that works.
My tout I just paid off is right behind me, and we could literally just tell him to take us to the market ward if we wanted to. It's up to you guys, though.
That is
For the rest of the day, I've got a specter that'll do whatever I tell it to, if it's within its power to do.
See, that's a lot cheaper. So, I mean, if it could take us to the market ward, I'd be gladly not to spend that money on my friend behind me.
Oh yeah, I'll be right back. Cassius runs outside to find the specter. Yes or no, do you know how to get to the market ward?
It floats up and then down.
You do realize you could just nod, right? You have a head.
It just kind of like bows its head a little and then nod and then lift.
Thank you. A little less spite will make your afterlife so much better. Because trust me, you think this is bad? Just wait to see where you're going. With that, Cassius will walk back in. Give him something to think about.
Grim, I do want to clarify that Grim and Selva did pop up in the market ward after their fight with the Doomguard. So they were in there for a little bit. In fact, you guys almost got jumped while waiting outside of a place when a little bit of ooze started spawning next to your counter.
Too inebriated to remember all that. At least Grim is. Maybe Selva's a little bit more in her mind to remember where the market ward is.
Oh, no, it's not so much saying do you remember where it is. The city is so much a maze to foreigners like yourselves, but just clarifying it, you have been there. You know that it is a very busy and cluttered location.
Once we get there, I'll know exactly where we're at, okay? Don't worry about a thing, okay, guys?
Arudim hard looks to the camera.
I'm assuming this is right when Cassius comes walking back in. Well, good news, Spectre can get us there.
That's fantastic news, because I don't know exactly where we're going at all.
Nor do I.
Cleric ward?
Market ward, I think it was. We had to find the imp.
We are in the clerk's ward.
We made it to the cleric's ward? Wow, I've been missing a lot lately. I shouldn't be in this bar anymore.
You were here first.
More drinks for me, ma'am. Thank you very much.
This'll help you remember, sweetie. And flops the drink down, starts marching off.
Well, there's one more, then, I can't be prude.
Hey, I'm down for a drink, and Cassius will slam it.
So Grim will just be his 6th drink. Poor guy. Such a little man to be taking so many drinks.
I'm just about to say, roll me a Constitution saving throw. I'm very serious. Let's see it, Grim. Come on, buddy. How are you holding this liquor? Well, not liquor. Beer. But still.
19 plus 4, so...
Holy shit! Grim got the power.
Yeah,
Okay.
make the drink.
Yeah, I know. You pass it. You slam it. You know how to hold your booze.
Ain't my first rodeo.
You drink that face shit. You fine.
So whenever you guys are all ready to load out and, accomplish this mission and find the all-knowing one, let's go do it.
So, clarity's sacred. We're just going to follow a ghost to a location, which could be anywhere in the market's ward.
I mean, to be fair, I did ask it if it knows how to get to the market ward. I didn't ask it if it knows where to find the imp. I figure when we get there, we can ask around, see if we can find this imp we're looking for. After all, we do have the imp's name. Deus did make sure we had that. Of course, worst case scenario, we could just say, "Oi, who's the imp that Deus don't like?" and then follow the screams.
I don't know about you all, but we have had our fair share of experience here in the city without a tout, and it has not gone in our favor. I mean, it's been inconveniences at most, but it still has not been in our favor.
The band says he's got a spirit, ghostly figure that's gonna bring us to the marketplace, then I trust the man to say he's gonna bring us to the marketplace. Did the ghostly figure tell you he's gonna take us?
I mean, it can't say no, but he is a spiteful little shit.
So then I kinda have about 75% hope in the fact that we'll get there.
I mean, if you'd rather hire a tout, I'm okay with that.
Now look, I don't want to spend any more money in this place.
Then I'll do it. I have money.
The big little kid talking about how much money he has. Quite hilarious, honestly.
I mean, I don't mind. I've got it. I can handle it.
Hello there, sir.
Everyone's a big roller.
Are you the one who escorted my friend earlier?
Oh yeah, what, you need some business again? And then the bar right there, and someone, well, there you go, some work for you. Oh boy, what you need? Should be able to take us to the market ward. Oh, haha. I mean, yeah, I could take you there. I mean, I'm more specialized in the guilds hall ward and the clerks ward, but I know my fair share of the markets ward. It's real clustered there. Are y'all going? The Firbolg kind of leaning back. At this point, kind of like under the influence, just kind of like gesturing at the whole group's like, are y'all going?
But yes.
Good luck with that. Y'all are gonna be shoulder to shoulder with every damn body on the street. And he kind of just leans back on the table.
Just consider, hold that thoughts. So, news. Apparently, the market ward's very crowded. And
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a market.
and the tout that we were looking to hire seems to be under the influence, so perhaps we should just go with the ghost.
Well, what's everyone else think?
I think, what are we gonna do with how drunk these three are?
I mean, we could probably find them a room. After all, we're not headed to the
Well,
unknown.
who are you calling drunk now? That's not a very nice thing to say about somebody that you just met, you know?
No, you're right. Pardon my manners. Tipsy.
Hey, look, you haven't been traveling around long enough with me to tell if I'm drunk or not, okay? That's all I'm gonna say.
You know what?
That aside,
You wouldn't want to see me when I'm drunk.
to be fair, yeah, I've been there.
Secret. He's always drunk.
You think that this little mouse folk's just a little mouse folk, but just you wait, just till I get to my level.
You know what? Fair enough. No, he kind of just
Right.
blows it up.
Crantor, what do you think?
Oh, sorry, I was thinking about something.
Okay, listen,
Yeah,
I
let's
know
go with the
Naleek has a nice ass, but come on.
Crantor blushes really hard.
No,
He goes very dark.
Naleek deadpans over to Cassius.
What, you do?
Crantor is not looking at either Naleek or Cassius. Let's ghost and runs out of the bar.
Look, the ghost seems like it's our best option, so let's just go with the ghost.
In Arden's mind, heh, gee.
Speaking of what's going on in Arudim's mind, what do you think, brother?
I'll follow your lead. You seem like you'd be all of you seem like you would know a bit more than me.
Yeah, but we all know what happened the last time I took the lead. Won't be going back to Celestia anytime soon!
Technically, that was Crantor taking the lead, but
I would love to bring you guys back some souvenirs.
Oh, ha ha, you're so funny.
Just because you're
I
banned
know.
doesn't mean that you can't go back.
I like this one.
Yeah, but I'd really rather not piss them off.
I mean, who are you pissing off and how strong are they? Because if they're that strong, you have, 4 more people with you to take them on? So I don't think they're that big of a deal.
It's more of a mutual respect thing. They didn't forcefully take us, and
Okay.
they weren't rude to us. It was just
Gotcha.
more of a, you done fucked up, boy, now get out my house.
Okay, alright, I understand.
Wow, very respectable, all things considered.
Well, since Crantor left, are we going to follow after and make our move and let's go?
Yep.
Sounds good to me.
No, it's like, wait, do we really gotta? Can't you
I
guys
mean,
just,
I'm not
come
going to
back?
sit here anymore.
Can't we just, meet up with you later?
I agree with Nala's idea. only some of us go. We're not going to the All-Knowing right now. We're just going to the Market Ward to find out.
Exactly.
You're telling me that you're going to stay here, continue to drink, and not come along with us to finish our mission.
No. The sidetrack to our mission, you guys are gonna do.
That's exactly what she's saying, you fucking asshole.
I was gonna dress it up a little bit more than that, but yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying, you fucking asshole. No,
If you guys don't want to come along with us, you have telepathy through the mind. You guys can find us through sending and stuff.
Yeah.
Good luck to you. I really don't think this is the smartest idea to have the 3 casters of our group today here by themselves.
Oh
but
my god, you're
hey, if that's what you guys want to do, that's what you want to do. I'm not going to stop you. Thank you very much. Bye.
You know what? Selva immediately says, kind of standing up a little, tilting over. They're right. They need their cleric should anything go wrong anymore. And she's kind of wobbling and tripping over, and she kind of stops herself.
Can't clerics cure poison?
Selva,
If
don't
I
leave.
prepare...
Selva, don't leave. Let them go on. We'll find them again. It's been the same thing throughout this whole journey. We always get lost from each other, and we always find each other. It's no big deal. It'll be fine.
Arudim just looks to the others like, the fuck do we do?
Naleek's well, I'm not sure if I should stay or go. Personally, I don't want to
I've
leave.
had enough of the bullshit. Where's the fucking mouse? He grabs fucking Grimwood and picks him up. Who the fuck do you think you are picking me up?
They're both your
just
characters, so for flavor's sake, I'm going to say you just do it. If you're saying it happens.
Arudim just smiles, steps over the table, like, walks across it, and just, alright, we're going.
Should I stay, make sure those two
Naleek,
are
get
fine?
your ass over here.
Dantu yells, Nala, Selva, if you don't come, I'm gonna come back and carry your asses out of this fucking place too.
Selva kind of gets up and starts shouting over. Nala's...
He just throws Grimwood out of the fucking door.
Cassius grabs Lucy and like, it's alright. I won't let him hurt you.
was
But
like,
don't you be getting no
Talking
bad
to
ideas
your
from him.
sword.
No, I'm talking to Lucy.
Oh yeah, how is she holding up?
Well, she's doing good.
Yeah, she's kind of scared. When you notice she's been snacking in on one of the rations, you kind of leave halfway open for her to do so with.
Grim is pissed, just her preference. He's not happy about leaving this place.
Yeah, no, and it's like, no, really, guys, I can
Party
stay back and
after the
watch
mission
them.
is a success.
Can I get at least one more drink for the trip?
Arudim
Cassius
just
will
hands
run.
him his that he didn't drink.
Oh, dude, such a kind soul, you know? You'd never think that people that you just met would hand you their beer, their drink. It's, thank you so much. He fucking chugs it.
Oh, this is so great.
Cassius runs back in and finds I can't remember her name, but the halfling lady.
Oh, no.
the halfling lady.
Olivia Cherry Cheeks.
Yes. And he'll set 13 platinum on the counter. Listen, I really appreciate all the service you did. Absolutely wonderful establishment. And by the way, your son absolutely took care of us the other night. Amazing lad you've got. You raised him right.
Oh, Elbow, yeah, he's got a job down over at the Prime's Inn. What's it called? Adventurer Hall, something like that.
Something to that effect, yeah. He was serving us the other night. Absolutely amazing boy. Love the kid. You raised him right. Make sure he gets to a good school, though. Let him live. Let him live his dream.
Thank you. I thought you were going to go the Deus route. No, thank you. I trust lads to take care of my boy.
And so, y'all get on to your stroll once again back to the big un. There's the beacon. You all continue on down the road. Now, here's the thing, right? The ghost starts leading you in this direction. Eventually, as you guys are leading down the road, which, by the way, despite the fact that there's no thunder or lightning, you still see those clouds that kind of just looming. So the storm may not be as intense when it hits, but there's still a storm on the horizon. Fortunately, that's just Sigil for you. And yeah, you guys, the ghost will have led you down the road, you guys seeing your cacophony of characters on the street, ranging from bums to adventurers to even scarce merchants or official-looking individuals, kind of just wandering about the street, various different races.
Can I ask, just for my own sanity, even though I know Grimwood is super inebriated right now, does he kind of recognize the fact that they're walking towards the marketplace, or no? Would I have to make a perception check about that?
As of right now, not really, but you will notice that this main road looks familiar, as you were just led down it earlier this morning to come to the Saint Cinnamon shop to meet.
Gotcha.
However,
All right.
you'll notice start to veer off the main road as the ghost continues to just lead you on a quite literal straight path. It will even go over the top of buildings to continue going in its linear route.
I mean, given where I found him before he became that makes actually perfect sense to me.
Yep, he's just moving how he would move in life. But ultimately, he doesn't move too far away from you, as it still needs to fulfill you the goal. Because you said lead them to you, so he's got to lead you, not just go there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Naleek stressed the importance of being quite literal.
Yeah, 1 second. I didn't think I'd have to pull out these charts. Yeah, no, as you guys are continuing on, you start leading around this very tall and large roundish building, and you'll start to see this crazed individual, like bug-eyed, dirty, raggedy beard, his bald and patchy hair on his head, and he's got an axe on his side, very loosely draped by like some damaged leather, and he's ran to other people. I'm telling you what, that music in Limbo is fucking crazy! And he's literally just walking up to random people and just yelling.
If he weren't up to our party, Grim would immediately deadpans and walks up right to him and says, "Look, you better not talk to us, you better not interact with us, because if you do, I swear to God, you're gonna regret it."
I love this
That's the little
because Grim had
mouse
to deal with this shit
walking
before.
up and saying, "Look, don't fuck with us, okay?"
Yeah, no, he's just.
I'll roll intimidation if you'd like me to.
Yes, please do. Although you're probably gonna beat it.
That is going to be an 11 plus 15.
Plus 15!
Yes, sir. That's my intimidation.
I need to check something. How did I let it become this way? Why is this one of his expertise? Okay, so yeah, a 26 to motherfucker just steps back and says, "Oh my god, oh no, not again. And he starts sprinting, seeing the guitar on your back.
Alright, let's continue onwards. It seems like we don't have to deal with that crazy asshole anymore.
And you see people on the streets getting a little calm. You can tell people in the general area were like irked by him. Funny enough, you notice, Arudim and company, that they're more irked than the people were around your fight earlier today. Your fight was less bothersome than that kook. Angry, drunk, grim. Sight to behold. I still can't go over that. A plus 15? How? What?
I mean, with a 5 proficiency bonus and a max stat, yeah, it's possible.
Oh no, the roll makes perfect sense to me. It's just I'm trying to remember back when we were like, yeah, Grim's gonna take expertise in intimidation.
Hey, don't fuck around with a little mouse folk, dude. That's a scary little fucker.
I think we went with it just for the irony of it. Like, this one.
He's got a Sephiroth blade, bro. I wouldn't fuck with him.
That's right. That's what that was for. That was literally what. Okay, admit. Yeah, alright, you reminded me. But yes, eventually you continued. You cross over. I mean, is the music still playing?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, yeah, you guys will continue on the road once more until we roll again on the weather chart.
And you did say we did get the benefits of a short rest.
Yes, you indeed did. You guys were there long enough to have done all that, even though you guys ended up getting caught. Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
You guys will actually be continuing down the road for a little bit, and you start to notice the light of the air dimming a bit, because that's how lighting works in Sigil. So you guys will notice that you're actually getting closer to evening time. And these rainy, stormy clouds, all of a sudden, not too far in the distance, you're going to see a green bolt of lightning strike a tower.
Oh.
Pretty.
Okay, then.
Oh my god, that's so unnatural. Naleek seems so bothered by that, and not the way you'd think from normal people. And eventually you guys will continue to start to see the lightning stretching out through the sky and striking things again, and it will actually be of various different colors. The green, purple, blue, even some red lightning. And you start to notice a remnant smell of chlorine after a bit with this happening. And sure enough, the streets are very clear at the moment, especially when about all of a sudden 2 buildings down from you, large strike to a nearby building. You actually see the scorch on its top. If it wasn't for that building being so tall in this more rural looking area, then you guys would have probably been affected by it.
He's gonna lean in, speak to Arudim. You know, we probably might need to hire a tout to get back, because if we go too long, old Ghosty Boy's gonna, well, he's gonna go visit Grandma.
Okay, good point.
So, keep that in mind when we're down there in the market ward.
Noted.
We may also want to look into getting an inn while we're there too.
Yeah.
If necessary, anyway.
No, I think it'd be the best advice, considering that we have 3 inebriated party members.
Telling you should have just left us back at the tea shop with the coffee and the
And what's
comfort.
this? Who are you calling inebriated? It's not the nicest thing to say about somebody you've been
Yeah,
traveling with
that's a
for so
pretty
long.
aggressive word.
Dante just dies. I'm sorry. People that have been drinking for a little bit, we should probably take a little break.
Well,
Yeah.
Naleek's just
Yeah.
looking around.
Let me handle this one. Oi, Grimwald, was it?
That's correct. Don't wear the name out.
Oh, but what then would all your adoring fans call you? Hey, let me put it to you this way. Let's say we put you up for the night.
Oh, that sounds boring, honestly. I mean, I want to be part of all the fun. It seems like you guys have all this adventure planned.
Well, I mean, if we're all going to be headed there, then you wouldn't be missing anything out.
Oh, it sounds like you're just trying to put the big old Grimwood down. That's all it sounds like. I mean, look, if you guys feel like we need to stop and slow down for a little bit, then it's fine. Let's just get a little bit further. You know, I don't want to weigh us down and get us to the market ward. It only seems right, you know? I'm fine, trust me.
All right.
I mean, didn't I not just ward off that creepy guy that was trying to talk to us? Come on now.
I mean, you did it better than we could with words.
That's the biggest quality I got is the words that's come out of my mouth. You'll learn that real quick if you stick around with me.
All right, well, let's keep moving, because old Ghosty Boy ain't going to be around forever.
Yes, you guys are continuing on, and sure enough, you've been led down once again onto another main road. And eventually you'll see something you're not seeing very often here, and it is a sign, a road sign. You guys know that you're on Astoria Road. As you guys are walking by the extremely large structure that is the Great Gymnasium. 1 second.
I think this is the second time at least half of our party's been by the gymnasium.
Oh yes, this is actually where you picked up Asanem when you were separated.
Still as great as the first time I saw it.
Yes, it's built of a unique and evocative black marble. It's kind of laced throughout with veins of gold and rose-colored minerals that kind of just like sparkles in the random light that is given from the intense lightning that is continuing to cackle throughout.
You think they play football in there?
Dante says, I reckon they probably train in there.
Selva kind of just blurts out, yes, Arudim said that there was a lot of physical training and it's in there. She's kind of just like, I don't have it in me to do it, but she just kind of starts rambling on about exercising and like sports and stuff. She's like, yes, my people once had a
She goes full Wii Fit trainer. Let's stretch those legs.
So you guys continue on eventually past this building as you guys will actually be coming by a large building that seems to be covered in these vines that seem to be coated in natural looking razors, like not just thorns but full on razors sticking out of it as they kind of coiling around the building. And you'll see actually several Davis floating up and kind of trimming them down, the creatures you saw repairing the buildings and such, as you were told to never disrupt or harm. Just kind of reminds you that they're looming in the distance too.
Right. Make sure never to touch one of them. That's what we was told.
Wait, they're cutting down this razor-like thorn thing that's around the building?
Yes.
Yes,
and you'll note that that's actually the first time you've seen any form of greenery or like tree life growing.
Dantu's face kind of turns a little bit at the sight of them cutting it.
And you kind of hear Naleek go, yeah, it's kind of bothering me too. Like, why?
There's just something about that really, for some reason, irks me that they're cutting it down. I don't know why. It kind of feels like they're cutting me down. Whatever, yeah, maybe I'm thinking about it too much.
No, I know the feeling. I really do. You guys will be continuing on. And finally, you'll start to realize how dark it's getting. And you hear thunder rumbling once more, but you no longer are seeing the lightning.
Dantu quickly posed a question, so we keep going, or are we going to pull it in for the night? Because I've heard many times from many touts that this place isn't too kindly at night.
And we learned that the hard way. Especially when we were in the hive.
So I leave the decision up to you guys. Do you want to keep going, or are we going to try to find a place to stay?
Honestly, I think it might be best to try to find a place to stay. The weather's starting to turn.
Alright then. Who's the best at finding those places? Because I know it's not me.
Oi, Spectre.
Stops.
In the vicinity, within 10-minute walk. Do you know of any reputable inns?
Nods no.
Oh, God.
Okay, within a 30-minute walk, do you know of any?
He starts to float, and then he starts floating in the opposite direction. Like it's indicating by moving forward slightly. It's not like going off in that direction.
No, it does no place.
All right. So it's within about turn around. It's about I'd say somewhere between a 10 and 30-minute walk back the other direction. But it can take us to a reputable place.
My vote is that we go. I don't think there's any reason for us to continue trying to track through this bad weather and also the night.
Yeah, I'm with him on that one.
Crib looks up at both of you and says, "You guys are a bunch of pussies."
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Crantor backhands
him.
What?
Your hand is probably the size of him.
That's what I'm saying.
Just knocks him away, floating in the distance.
I was gonna say roll to hit.
No, I'm not.
I know.
You would kill him.
Just splat.
He would be dead.
He would be
You know what? Just for the hell
immortalized.
of it.
You could flick him and he would die.
Like, can I use my reaction to cast polymorph into something that will not fucking die from his hand?
Daltu just says, "Look, he's inebriated. Don't listen to him. We'll pick him up and bring him wherever we go."
Oh man. Sure enough, you all will kind of fumble around on the roads a little bit, just checking out the signs on the roads, and sure enough, you'll see some small place like Go Home Taverns or something like that. It will just be like very homey and such, especially considering that you're currently in the Guild's Hall ward. You'll actually notice there's been a lot of rural locations and more community-esque areas. You've actually traveled through many neighborhoods as opposed to like more industrialized areas.
Yeah, I know the exact type you mean.
Before we decide to like all split up into our own rooms and stuff like that, Dantu kind of pulls Cassius and Naleek to the side and says, "Look, there's been things happening to us since we've been in Sigil where we haven't been in control of people attacking us during the night without us knowing. So I do want you all to be aware that there is a possibility that since we've been on this adventure that we could possibly be attacked. I just want you all to be aware of that."
Well, if I get shot when I'm asleep again, I'm going to do things to that person.
Oh, well, you may need to be ready to do things to that person because it's been happening quite frequently to us during our journey. So just kind of just a heads up that while you're sleeping, you could definitely, be hearing one of us scream that we need to get up.
Well, it takes a lot to surprise me.
That's true.
I could imagine, big guy.
Suffice to say, I think it might be good for us to at least buddy up in the rooms at the very least.
Yeah, at least 2 people per room. That's the way that we've been trying to keep it. I mean, if we can't have it, all of us stay in one room, we're at least 2 people per room.
Yeah.
So you all pull into all in, sure enough, they ask you how many rooms you need. And for brevity's sake, we'll say that you guys will be able to get up to 5 rooms. So however you guys want to split that up. I imagine Selva and Nala will be fine with getting their own room. Tuscan's, of course, fine with rooming with Dantu and Grim.
Grim's not going to stay with anybody.
Oh, Grim's not going to stay? He said, no, I'm getting my own room.
And Grim's just like, "Look, I'll pay for my own room. Don't worry about me. We got things handled. If anything happens, just know you'll be seeing some type of crazy creature pop out of my side of the building."
Noted. All right.
Are the rooms big enough for Crantor?
Kind of.
Kind of. That's not a reassuring answer.
It's not a reassuring answer at all. With a big guy, you gotta know, like, yeah, we got the room for you, or like, nah, we do not.
No, that was literally what they said. We can work something out, I'm sure.
And with that, Arudim, you and I should share a room.
But yeah, I imagine it's just a hard cut to a room with 2 beds on opposite sides, and it's just like Naleek laying on one and Crantor kind of sitting on the other. Just silence for a second, and then you hear the bed creak and just cave out underneath Crantor. Oh, this is so comfy. And like he's like be taking up literally half the room as well.
Or even better, they only have 1 room left with a king-size bed, no 2 beds.
He's like, I gotcha. I'll sleep on the floor.
Fair enough. And he breaks the bed, and he has to sleep on the floor too.
Dante spares his bed over to Crantor, knowing how bad it is being a big guy not having a bed.
Literally moves 1 bed into a different room.
Dante doesn't need a bed, dude. He has a turtle shell. It's fine.
Crantor's used to not having a bed.
Dantu's such a badass, he can tuck himself into his shell while putting his shield shell over on top of him so he's a full dome, and still pop up onto his feet without any issue, should he need to. But yeah, you all cluster in your respective rooms and you stick to it, and you all will sure enough get a decent, nice rest. However, Dawn, Cassius, and Arudim, you'll hear a knock at your door. Arudim, you'll probably already be awake.
Also, quick question. After a long rest, we gain half your hit dice back, right?
Yes, half your maximum hit dice back.
Okay, so
That should
doing that
seven.
for Arden's sake. Yeah, that would be enough. I just wanted to make sure that it would be enough before I made any modifications.
Ardim's just gonna prepared action use the necklace of Misty Step to dodge out of the way of an attack. Ardim would just wake you. Handsome purple tiefling slaps you in the face a little bit, like.
Oi! If you want to slap me, you should have done so a few hours ago. Hey, what's up?
Just points to the door, and he goes over to the door to open it.
All right. Yeah. Here, give me a second.
Reaches over to grab his sword.
Yeah. All right.
3, 2, 1, open it.
You open the door, and sitting on the floor is a rolled up piece of paper. And that's where we'll end the session.
Oh, motherfucker!
Bitch. You can't, man. I'm gonna kill your family.
I love it. He's like, oh, I know this song and dance.
I have a feeling this one is not for Arudim.
Kitty cat, man, go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself, this guy. Oh, man.
I can't play patty cake, man.
Not gonna lie, this is not where I expected this session to be ending, but there was so much fun character exposition and interaction that I couldn't possibly be upset with it.
I feel like this party is like baggage claim at an airport. There's too much of it.
Honestly,
Yeah.
you're not wrong.
There's so much baggage. It's ridiculous.
It's too much.
Charge extra for this baggage.
I specifically wrote Cassius to not have that. He has one driving focus, and if this guy is trying to fuck with that, he's only going to set Cassius on the right path.
Well, guess what, folks? You just met a whole party with a bunch of fucking baggage. So guess we're just jumping all this baggage together.
Crantor has far more baggage than we ever intended on him with.
Yeah, I know, right? And now he's surrounded
Welcome
by a
to
bunch of
Delta
people who have
Airlines.
Welcome to Delta. Please find your baggage at the baggage claim.
Can this be American
Delta?
Can this be American
Delta?
Airlines? So that way we lose our baggage?
Sorry, guys. I fly Spirit, even the worst of worst.
Spirit!
The guttural repulsion.
Oh, God.
Oh man, this has been a real fun session. If you're watching on YouTube, do make sure to like and subscribe if for some reason you haven't already done either of those things. We should probably put that at the front of the video, but oh well. Especially if you're still through at this point, thank you so much for sticking with us. But until next week,
Comment.
Yes.
It really helps us out.
Sorry you had to deal with my inebriated ass.
no, it's only added to the game, my dude. This has been really
If
happy.
you're
They
on
call
Twitch
that
and
method
interested,
acting.
give us a follow.
Right?
The interaction is what we want, we crave for it. We've been the Planeswalkers. Yeah, have a good night, y'all.